so much of this process is unlearning everything that we were taught growing up, right? Because we needed those rules and those guidelines and those understandings for a period of time. But then once we get into adulthood and we know, okay, here are the ins and outs of civilization and interacting with others and functioning in our own life, now it's time to unlearn all those things that aren't beneficial to us. One of those being worry.
You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am Sandy Patterson, your host and certified life and business coach, and I am so excited that you are here today. Now, I'm excited to share this episode with you today. It's a little bit different. Every other Thursday, my good friend and also life coach, Liv Fox, we go live on Instagram just to kind of chat, and sometimes we have a topic, sometimes we don't. We're always talking about like mindset stuff and life stuff and just kind of really whatever's going on with us. And it's so fun. And this last Thursday, we did an Instagram live and we got a really, really great response to it. It's all about worrying and overthinking and actually how to stop worrying and stop overthinking. And we got a really great response to this live. And so we thought it would be great for this little Instagram live to have a home here on the podcast where it can live and other women can listen in and revisit it as needed, because it's very few women that I meet and speak with that don't tell me that they worry about just everything, worry about business, worry about life, worry about their kids, worry about their future, worry about what's next. It's very, very common. And same with the overthinking. We have a tendency to just overthink and try to control things, to control the outcome. So in this Instagram live that you're about to listen in on, we talk about worrying, we talk about overthinking, and we actually talk about how to start to eliminate that from your life, because really worrying and overthinking does not serve a really great purpose, right? It just takes up space mentally, emotionally, physically, even sometimes too. So enjoy this episode. I can't wait to hear what you think. Hello, Instagram fam. So excited to be here this morning. My friend Liv is going to join me.
Hey,
There you are. How are you today?
I am fabulous. How are you?
So good. I'm so excited to see you this morning because our conversations are so aligned and just a really, really great way to start the day. And I hope that anybody joining us feels the same way too.
Yeah, the sun is shining. I'm reveling in the fact that I have a sunburn on my back in late April. Like, this is brand new territory for me, and I am thrilled with it. So yeah, everything is exactly what it should be. How's your life?
That's so good. That's so funny that you're talking about a sunburn. It's actually kind of rainy and cloudy here, but I actually love rainy days. When I was a teacher, I hated them. I hated rainy day schedule. I hated keeping the kids inside. I just hated everything about it. And now I'm just like, oh, I welcome the rain. I love the clouds. I love the feel. So life is good too. Life is so good over here. So we were kind of chit-chatting on Voxer about the topic of like overthinking and worrying, why we do that and how we can maybe not do that anymore.
Yeah. It never fails to amaze me and sort of make me laugh how our topics line up with something in either of our lives or both of our lives. And I am reading a book right now by Jay Shetty, and it's called Think Like a Monk. It's a great book. And there's a lot in there that I already think about on a regular basis, or, tools, tips, and tricks that I know, but like that refresher is always good. And this last chapter touched on the idea of fear and worry. And it tells just some story in it that's used as a teaching lesson of a man who is constantly told by his brother, oh, well, that's unfortunate, or, oh, that's such great news. And every time the man's response is, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And we don't know. And it's that idea of like facing life for exactly what it is instead of what we want it to be, right? And then it sparked my memory of something that I posted, weeks, months, I don't even know how long ago. But I wrote, it is not good or bad, it simply is. It's like when we let our emotions get involved and when we identify more with our emotions than our situation, all of a sudden we're imposing bias on something and causing worry or overthinking or stress when the reality is, okay, here's our situation. Now what's our next move?
Yeah. And what came up for me when you were just talking about that's very interesting, is this idea of like things being neutral. Like really every circumstance that we come across is neutral, right? It's not necessarily good, bad, like you said, it just is. And what we do as humans, right? It's part of the human experience, is we some sort of thought with that circumstance, and then it's either it produces, that thought is either going to produce a good emotion, or I don't even want to say bad, like I don't think any emotions are bad, but it produces an emotion that's a pleasant emotion like happiness or joy or excitement or hopefulness, or it produces something that is something maybe that we don't necessarily want, like worry or fear or dread, whatever that emotion might be. So I think, yeah, that's a good, everything really is neutral. It's not good or bad. Nothing is good or bad. We just are assigning things.
I love that you use that word at the end. We assign something to it, right? And it's a part of that human condition where as we're raised, we're told, well, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. And so much of this process is unlearning everything that we were taught growing up, right? Because we needed those rules and those guidelines and those understandings for a period of time. But then once we get into adulthood and we know, okay, here are the ins and outs of civilization and interacting with others and functioning in our own life, now it's time to unlearn all those things that aren't beneficial to us. One of those being worry, right? And I know I told you this on Voxer. My nerd is coming out in this because I am a Harry Potter geek, loud and proud about it. And in the Fantastic Beasts movie, there's a line that says, well, if you worry, you suffer twice. And while we are taught from a young age to worry and be vigilant and aware about what's going on in our life, well, what happens when we unlearn that? And instead of worrying about it, we just accept it and say, well, I'm not going to put myself through the suffering of what is or what could be the worst case scenario. Instead, I'm going to say, here is what my life is right now. What do I want to do with that information?
Yes. And to me, it comes back, like what you were just saying, is it comes back to choice. Like we always have a choice, and we have a choice to take radical responsibility for our circumstances, essentially, right? And things happen, like something could happen. And I know this came up for me the other day. I was talking to my mom and we were talking about something, and I don't even remember what it was now, but she was like, oh my gosh, Sandy, like, aren't you worried? Aren't you worried about this? Like, what are you going to do? Aren't you worried? And I was like, no, like, I'm really not worried about it at all, because I trust and I know that I have a choice here. Like I can decide to like worry and ruminate on, carry this with me into my day and think about it. And it can take up a bunch of space in my head and it can take up a bunch of my energy, but I know I have a choice, and my choice is to not actually really worry about it, because I trust in myself enough, and I trust the universe enough, or source or God or whatever you want to call it, that this is happening for a reason, that the way that this works out is going to happen for a reason. Whether I see that now or not, I'll see it in the future. I won't, but I know that it's all for a purpose.
I love so much that is the route you went, because that is exactly what popped into my head, is this idea that so much of being able to detach from your situation or your scenario or your hypothetical is having faith in God or the universe or your higher power or whatever it is for you. And also having confidence in yourself, right? Because, and it's so cliche to say, but I love it anyway. We all have survived 100% of our hardest days. Everything that we thought we would never make it through, if you are here and breathing, you have survived it. Or maybe you're in the hardest days right now, you are surviving it. And I think that's a huge piece, is reframing how we view it, instead of thinking about it as, oh, I can't catch a break, or life has been so hard on me, or when are things going to go my way? But instead of that, viewing it as, wow, look at everything I have accomplished. Look at everything I've gone through. Look at what I have survived. And then building that inner confidence to know worrying doesn't serve you, because what has it gotten you in the past? Yeah. You survived it anyway.
So many things just came up for me when you were talking, and you're so right. And again, though, it is a perspective shift, but the perspective shift doesn't actually work unless you believe it. So it's the belief system that we went with here talking about, not necessarily like tell yourself that you're, everything's fine and everything will be fine. It's not necessarily that. It's like believing and that trust in yourself that you truly believe that everything's fine. And you just described perfectly how to actually do that. Like, what would someone do if they're like, I don't know, for me, like I really used to be like a worrier. I worried all the time about everything, especially when I was starting my business, especially when I was leaving my job. I mean, especially when I became a mom, like, oh my gosh, you worry about everything. And as I was talking to my mom the other day, I'm like, why am I not worried? Like, what have I done that has gotten me to a point where I'm literally not worried about anything? Like, nothing really rattles me. Not that something couldn't or wouldn't, because, but I don't really get rattled about things that I used to a year or two ago. I'm like, what did I do? Well, what I did is that inner work and that belief that like, no, everything is working out for a higher purpose, and I trust myself. And then to anchor that, I go back to the evidence. Like, I pull the evidence of every single time that things have worked out for me, even when in the moment it didn't feel like it. And it could be something like as small or as stupid as like not being able to find a parking spot. Like, I can't find a parking spot. Whenever it worked out, like I found one, and I found, like, you come back out and the cars that were parked in the spot I wanted have been towed or have a ticket, or like what, it always works out. And so it's finding that evidence of the way and how everything is working in your favor. And it's that belief, like that belief system.
Well, and I love that you brought up the evidence and the proof piece, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was actually just talking with a client about this a couple of days ago. And it's that idea that she wanted to scale back at her job. Her family's undergone some changes and she has had to take on more work, but she is reaching a point of burnout. And in this discussion, I was asking her, what's really stopping you from doing this? Well, I feel like my boss is not going to be understanding, or no one's going to be supportive. They're going to think, oh, this just happened in your family and now you want to stop working? Like, that's dumb. I said, okay, what proof do you have to back that up? And she sat there for a minute. I was like, I don't have any. I said, okay, but how about years ago when you had your kids and you scaled back from work? How was it received? And she said, well, they didn't really mind. They took it really well. And I said, okay, so you actually have proof to the contrary. But that's so much of rewiring that belief, right? And I know someone commented in here, like, I'm leaning into my own faith that everything's happening for a reason and for our greater good. And I love that this resonates with you.
Yes.
But it's like, you can lean into it, yes, but then you also have to look for the proof, right?
Yes.
You want tangible evidence to back it up. Because, I can say until the end of time, X, Y, or Z, right? I can't even think of anything off the top of my head, right? Like what I want to say.
Yeah.
But you can tell yourself anything. And yeah, there's a piece of the manifesting it in there, but you have to believe it. And in order to believe it, you have to have some sort of proof, big or small.
Yes. And that's literally how we rewire the subconscious mind, and we get rid of this overthinking and worrying. Like we just described exactly how we do that. Is we start to find the proof. The proof is in these tiny moments that we have a choice to either notice or not. And when we notice, that's when we take radical responsibility. Because if our reality is a reflection of our beliefs, then why would we not start with our beliefs to make our reality whatever we want it to be?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. So much that, right? Because, and this goes back to the perspective and our perception of everything. That is where our true power lies in how we perceive the world. Are we telling ourselves that we're miserable, that we're unhappy, that we'll never have X, Y, and Z? And when we are, we're right. And then we're going to feed the worry,
Yes.
right? The words that we speak are going to feed either the worry or I really want to come up with a W word for the alliteration of it, but I can't. So the faith, right? The hope.
Yeah, totally. And it's like that of like, I'm probably going to mess this up, but like this idea that like, if you're like universe, show me butterflies, like you're going to see butterflies because you're looking for them. Like there they are, they're right there. So like, what do you want to see? Let's speak that into existence versus, oh, things never go right, or, oh, I never have enough money, or, oh, how am I going to get enough clients? Or, oh, like, how is this going to work? How am I going to make this work? No, like, look at how it's already working. It's already working in your favor. Like you're already doing it. You're already there. You just have to step into the belief. And again, for me, what's coming up is like this idea, and I know you and I, like, we love our cheesy Pinterest quotes and our affirmation sayings. Love them. But they don't work unless you believe what's underneath them. Like deeper than just a cute quote to put on my wall, right?
And in defense of the quotes, right? They can be beneficial because I think having them present, you start to believe them more when you see them, when you read them. And that can be a good step, even if you don't believe like good things are coming for me. If you read that every day, if you write it on your bathroom mirror, if you make it your phone screen, if you pin little notes around the house, or if you put it on your dash in your car, whatever it is, if you see it constantly, that will start to rewire your brain into that belief.
Yeah.
Because the belief does not come naturally. It does not come effortlessly. It's like the inner work is hard. And I never want us to downplay that. This is hard work, but what becomes possible for you when your brain shifts from worry and anxiety into possibility and wonder, like the entire world opens up. And I found my W word.
There it is. I just noticed my amazing friend Kim, she just popped on, and this is so like everything that we talked about. She was my coach in Leaders Rising, and this is exactly what we're talking about. So Kim, I'm so glad that you're here. But yeah, it's all about, I literally have it on my desk, like a Post-it that's got like scribble handwriting, and it just says, I always get what I want. And I'm like, I do. I always get what I want. And I don't say that in a like conceited or like a boast kind of way, but I literally always get what I want. And I get what I want because I believe that it's possible, and I believe that I deserve it, and I believe that everything always works out for me. And it does. It does. It always does. It does. That's not to say too, Liv, like that I know that crappy things happen. I know that shitty things happen. And crappy things happen to great people, and things that are out of our control happen. But again, despite all of that, everything still works out. Like, we're still here, we're still breathing, it's all good. Everything works out.
Well, and I don't have one right in front of me every day. I know now I sound like a hypocrite because cheesy quotes have just been my life. But the one that has taken me a long time to really believe is that good things are coming for me. Good things are on their way for me. And that's one that I have started to just replay in my brain, because for a very long time, I couldn't see the good things. I was so stuck in where I was. And since getting out here and since becoming a coach and so many things, I've started to collect that proof. And I really started to look for it, where I was like, oh, good things are coming. We bought a house. We moved to Utah. I've met amazing people, one of who I see has joined this video. Hi, Addie. I've met and connected with you and other coaches all over the US. I have started to make an impact. I have figured out direction. It's like all of those things that we have to self-reflect on, and we have to give our lives the credit they deserve. And I think that's another piece of it, right? When we get stuck in that worry, is we're always looking forward. We're always trying to find the next thing. We get what we want, and then we can say, okay, moving on. And that is great. You should always be forward focused. At least I feel that way, but not at the expense of giving your past self the credit they deserve.
Yes. And Liv, I'm going to challenge you today. I'm going to push a little bit here. So the quote, or the affirmation that you just said, I love it. Good things are coming. Is that what you said? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Good things are coming.
Good things are coming for me. Good things are on their way to me. Something to that effect.
I'm going to challenge you today to tweak that just a tiny little bit. And instead of good things are coming, good things are here.
I love it.
Good things.
I had a hunch that's where you're going to take it.
Knew I was going to go there. And because they're already here, like, you're already living it. You're already in the good things. You're in the things that you wished for and dreamed for. And of course, you're looking forward and being like, what's next? What's the next great thing? What's the next impact I can make? Mm-hmm. But recognize, it's exactly what you just said. Recognize what you're in right now. And that's what solidifies and the proof.
Yes. And that piece, right? The recognition of it, all worry can fade away the second you realize and you accept that you are living in what you once prayed for, in what you once hit your knees on the bathroom floor, sobbing, thinking it may never get here. Yes, that was me 5 years ago. And what can worry do against that when you say, oh no, maybe it takes some time, but I do have everything I wanted. Yeah. Now this is what I want. Let me go make it happen because I have the proof.
And in those moments when you are hitting the floor, right? Those are crappy moments when it feels hopeless, right? But again, that proof and that belief of yeah, I've got this. And of course, you just mentioned this would be a whole nother live we could do on the time, right? On your timeline, releasing the timeline of when it's happened and how it happens. That's a whole nother issue.
Yes. I say maybe even another one that we can do, and we can let everyone on this live vote for next week, is do we do releasing the timeline, or what pops into my head is using your low moments as your catalyst for change.
That's a good one. I like that. Okay. Yeah. We'll do a poll. Well, I have to wrap it up. And I realized we didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning of this. So go ahead and tell everybody who you are and where they loved this live, because if they're still watching, then they must have liked something. So
right? Oh my God. One day we will remember how to do everything in the steps. But for now, guys, I am Liv. I am, oh my gosh, I almost said I'm an Ohio girl. No, I am a Utah girl now. I am a life coach. I specialize in personal development and empowerment. I really just want to help people who have been at their lowest points figure out how to live the life that they love and let go of that past, that trauma, everything that's holding them back from their dreams. And if you are someone who needs support around this, I am taking a couple one-to-one clients right now, and I would love to chat with you and get to know you.
And Liv, as you were describing what you do, I'm like, you're such a beautiful, like living, walking proof example of exactly what you just described. So I love that. But yeah, just like Liv, I am also a certified life and business coach. My sweet spot is working with women who are in the beginning phases of their business. And I really am good at tying in the business strategy in order to get your business up and running, and folding in the mindset piece that is essential for business building and creating something that's sustainable and that you really, really love. And I am all about helping my clients take what feels like messy action and the accountability. And also, when I just said fold in the mindset, my head went to Schitt's Creek and like folding the cheese in. So there's that. So anyways, yeah, I hang out on Instagram here. Liv and I do a live every other Thursday typically. Yeah. And we love when you join us. We love hearing what your takeaways were, what your big aha moments were. And it's just a really great way to start our day and to head into the rest of the day. So thank you guys all for being here today. If you have any takeaways or anything you want to share with us, we're both open. Our DMs are open. We are around, ready to support you and help you, just like Liv said, create the life that you want. Let's do it. Bye, you guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this episode today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to hear more of Liv and I's conversations, she and I go live every other Thursday on Instagram. You can find me there at Hello Sandy Patterson, and you can find her on Instagram as well. She's at Liv, L-I-V, the life _ coach. So you can find us there every other Thursday. We just do a little chitty chatty, but would love to hear what you think about this episode. You can hop over, send us a message, let us know what you think, and we will see you next time, or I will see you next time for the next episode, and we will see you over on Instagram. Take care. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me, and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.